AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know what's faster than your paycheck? Literally everything. It's time to get your pay up to speed. With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit Earnin.com for full details.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
You know what's faster than your paycheck? Literally everything. It's time to get your pay up to speed. With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit Earnin.com for full details.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
I'm Toby.
And welcome to day 25 of 31 days of Halloween. I've got one spooky story to share today. I'll get straight into it. And just a quick heads up, full disclosure, this is a no sleep story. Are you ready for the story?
Yes, I am.
I was tasked with babysitting for my neighbour's kid, but she has sent me an extremely weird message on WhatsApp. Please feed Mohan his dog food. Pedigree at 2 p.m. The packet is in the cupboard and his dog bowl is kept near the kitchen sink. I stared at the WhatsApp message, reading it again and again. My emotions were caught between bemusement and nervousness at the bizarre request. I know what you're all thinking. Just feed the dog his kibble. But here are the facts. Mohan is not a dog. He is a 10-year-old. To give you all some context about my situation, I had agreed to babysit Mrs. Sharma's son, Mohan, because my mother wanted our new kooky neighbour to feel at home. And no, this was not a paid babysitting job. It was just an endeavour to build neighbourly relations by my over-enthusiastic mother. But as I just said now, Mrs. Sharma was a kooky. I had only observed her twice, but both the moments left quite an impression upon me. The first one happened when I caught her cutting a bar of soap like a carrot upon my mother's chopping board. She'd brought a pack of those as gifts when she first came to visit us. A brand new pack of expensive sandal soaps. At the time, I was reading a book from a position where she could not see me. I could see her on the sofa, chatting with my mother. But when my mother went to the terrace to fetch our drying clothes for 10 minutes, I surreptitiously watched her take one of the bars and start dicing it upon the chopping board my mother had used for slicing radishes. I looked away after 5 minutes, but Mrs. Sharma had clearly left no trace of her actions, because when my mother came back, they continued their nonsensical conversations, while my mother once again picked up her knife and continued chopping the remaining vegetables. Needless to say, I refused to eat dinner that night and ordered from Zomato. The second incident happened when I caught Mrs. Sharma tasting Pedigree, a popular brand of dog food, when my mother and I were visiting her home. Mrs. Sharma went into her kitchen to pour some drinks and get snacks for us while we were waiting in her guest room. At that time, I had a sudden urge to use the washroom. I silently walked past the kitchen, but my eyes happened to glance upon her for a few seconds, and there she was, taking kibbles out of a Pedigree packet and putting them in her mouth. I refused to eat anything she served to me and my mum later on. I also mentally grimaced every time my mum picked a bite to eat. The woman clearly had issues, and I wished that my mum would have stayed clear of her. But fate had other plans. The two had become fast friends, and now I was saddled with babysitting Mrs. Sharma's 10-year-old son, Mohan. When I'd questioned my mother about why we didn't see Mohan during our visit to Mrs. Sharma's house, Mum told me that it was because he had gone for a walk with a girl from our colony. My mum also gave me a list of written instructions on how to take care of that kid. I wish she would just WhatsApp me, but she just had to write it on paper in her terrible handwriting. Honestly, the only redeeming quality of Mrs. Sharma so far was that she was not as technophobic as my mother and had agreed to message me the instructions. The babysitting ordeal was to last from 12 noon till 6 in the morning. I had not even glanced upon the list my mother had given me, as Mrs. Sharma had promised me that she would text me the relevant tasks throughout the day. So, with an irritated look upon my face, I went to pursue the challenge. I first saw Mohan in the living room of their house, watching television. An episode of Doraemon blared from the television, and I winced at how loud it was. But the kid was unaffected. Mrs. Sharma had just deposited the keys to her house with me right outside the house and left in a hurry, without even introducing me to her kid. Her craziness clearly wasn't going away anytime soon. I felt sorry for the kid for having such a weird mother without even having met him. So I walked into the living room after safely locking the door. I was told by my mother that Mohan was 10 years old, and he looked exactly like a normal 10-year-old would. He was watching the television screen with his black hair combed back, wearing a red t-shirt and a pair of comfortable pants, munching upon Maggi noodles with a glass of mango juice nearby. I introduced myself to him, and he monotonously replied to my basic questions, his attention clearly fixed upon the television. But he looked comfortable enough, so I went into the guest bedroom of the house to watch Derry Girls on Netflix. After reassuring him to call me if he needs anything, I was captivated by the show until Mrs. Sharma's message notification came on WhatsApp. That is when the weird message that I had talked about earlier came in at 1:40 p.m. And reading the message made me wish that there was some version of CPS in India because the entire event just screamed that something abusive was going on with Mohan and his mother. I wondered if Mrs. Sharma was joking with me, so I nervously went to the cupboard to see if I would actually find dog food over there. I was hoping that the last time I saw her eat pedigree kibbles in her kitchen was just some hallucination or glitch in the Matrix moment. But there it was, a yellow packet with a cute little golden retriever picture, a big packet of pedigree. I stared at it for a good 10 minutes, wondering what my next step should be. Should I make a run for it and inform my mother about the incident? Or should I grab Mohan along with me too? Or should I just ignore my conscience and feed him the dog food and finish my babysitting task? Because if the past events were anything to go by, it certainly would not be the first time he would be eating it. My mind was racing in all directions until suddenly I heard scratching at one of the bedroom doors nearby. To say that my blood had turned to ice by now would be an understatement. I quickly ran to Mohan and asked him what was causing the scratching. Maybe it was just a pet that Mrs. Sharma had confused with Mohan, I thought nervously, but Mohan's reply caught me off guard. "It's the red man," he told me. What? Just ignore him and don't open that door. After giving that vague answer, he went back to watching some cartoon. I was beyond scared by this point and just wanted to bolt out of the house. But one question still lingered in my mind. "Does your mother feed you pedigree?" I asked him cautiously. Mohan looked at me for a few seconds and nodded yes. I sucked in my breath and hurriedly told him to come with me to my house. He had clearly been abused and was under some delusion of the red man. I could not in good conscience leave the kid here with that crazy witch, so I just grabbed his arm and started dragging him with me. I frantically reassured him that we would call the police on his mother and he would be safe from her. But he quietly told me that there was no point to that. That made me pause in my tracks. I looked over my shoulder to see that he had suddenly become hunched over and was shaking with tears. "That woman is not my mother. My mother was killed 2 years ago. The red man had killed her. And if you try to complain about it, it will kill you." "What the heck are you talking about?" I screamed at the kid, my mind spinning. "It's true. It used to be just me and my mum, the real Radhika Sharma. She used to be normal. But one weird rule existed in our house. Mum had forbidden me from going to the guest room of my house, claiming that a ghost lived there and we should be wary of him. I used to be extremely afraid of that threat because I could sometimes hear scratching sounds from behind that locked door. One night, when I went to get water, I saw her standing outside the door to that room with a very frightened look on her face. I saw it. A red hand had suddenly emerged from the door and grabbed her inside. I ran back to my room and hid under the covers the entire night. I was sobbing throughout the night and was terrified that my mother had been killed, terrified that the red man exists and that he would come after me. He never came out. The next day, my mother came to wake me up. I was scared but happy to see her. But that morning, for breakfast, she served me the pedigree that we used to feed to our dog at that time. Her behaviour didn't end there. She would always take baths with a mixture of milk and oil. She would sleep on the roof of our car with her eyes wide open. She would twist her neck at odd angles pretty often. And she would also cut up slices of soap to feed our dog. He died soon after because of that. I stared at Mohan with a numb feeling. He continued his rambles. I knew then that that thing was not my mother, that my mummy was dead, and I also knew that whatever that thing is, It was trying to imitate humans. It's gotten rather good at it over 2 years. We moved a lot during that time. It'll always chat up the new neighbours, trying to appear more and more normal. I knew it was some weird creature, but I also knew that it was not the Red Man, because no matter where we moved, there would always be one of our rooms that would be locked and off limits to me, and I could hear scratching behind it. He finally finished his story while sobbing throughout. I just kept on standing there, feeling like an icy hand had gripped my heart. I was not afraid for the kid. I knew he would survive somehow. I was afraid for myself, knowing that I had basically entered a haunted house. Mohan had escaped my grasp and ran up the stairs, probably to cry to himself some more. But I knew that if I didn't get out of the house that second, my legs would give out and I would not escape alive. I was about to make a run for it when I heard a tyre screech in the background. Mrs. Sharma, or more pointedly, the thing imitating her, was home. I just stood there frozen like a statue when the lock turned. The thing must have had a spare key, of course. And within moments, it opened the door and entered the house with a cheery face. "Hello, dear. How was your day? I'm sorry I came home early. The grocery shop I like was closed today, and I was free to come home early. I hope you had fun with Mohan. He is very friendly." The thing grinned at me. I just stared in silence, not a movement out of me. It moved towards the room from where the scratching sounds were coming from, still chatting to me. I hope Mohan ate his food properly. He generally is a good boy, but I had to discipline him for a very long time for him to reach that stage when it comes to food. I watched in silent horror as it came to stand before the door with the scratching sounds, but a confused expression came upon her face. "Dearie, did you not let Mohan out of the room?" "Huh?" The inquisitive expression just escaped my mouth, the first prickle of curiosity coming over me. Without any warning, its hands turned the handle and opened the door. I screamed and tried to make a run for it, until I heard a bark from behind me. I just froze upon the spot, slowly turning my head around. I expected to see a grotesque red figure with a creepy smile coming at me within human speed. Instead, a happy golden retriever ran up to me. I tried to collect my thoughts for a minute. I expected that this was all a show, and both the woman and dog would soon reveal their true paranormal forms. But nothing of that sort happened. Mrs. Sharma watched with a worried look on her face. "Did you not feed him, dearie? Mohan must be very hungry now," Mrs. Sharma replied, pointing to the dog. "What are you talking about? Mohan is your son, isn't he?" "I refer to him as my son, but he's not my actual son, dearie. He's a dog. Why are you asking such a weird question?" "But were you confused all this time because you thought I had an actual son? I never had a child, and I've never been married. I have only had one companion for 10 years, my beloved Mohan. Let me feed him now. He must be hungry." With that, she walked towards the kitchen. I just excused myself and ran to my home. I ambushed my mother as soon as I saw her. "Did you know that Mohan was a dog?" I angrily questioned my mother. "Of course. Why are you asking such an idiotic question? Was that not clear enough the first time you saw him? Mohan being a dog was literally the first thing I wrote in my list, but you did not read it," my mother chided me. I was at a complete loss for words. If Mohan was a dog, then who the heck was the boy I had talked to? Wanting more answers, I started narrating Mrs. Sharma's past actions to my mother. I told her about Mrs. Sharma's weird soap chopping and pedigree eating behaviours from earlier. I expected her to be shocked at this, but she only laughed. She was chopping the soap because I asked her to do that, silly. I had wanted to take those pieces of soap to keep them in our potted plants. I'd read somewhere that they repel insects and wanted to check for myself. And as far as the pedigree eating is concerned, she did not eat it. She told me that she puts a few pieces in her mouth to encourage Mohan to eat it. She sometimes does it even when he's not there, out of absent-mindedness. You may think it's weird, but the tactic has been quite effective so far. With that, my mother started walking towards the dining table, still speaking. You've really disappointed me this time. I expected you would take better care of Mohan. You are lucky Mrs. Sharma is a sweet lady. She would probably forgive you. Mrs. Sharma had even bought a gift for you for taking care of Mohan. My mother kept on ranting. My mother pointed towards a painting kept on the dining table. But as soon as I saw it, beads of sweat started collecting on my forehead, and I felt like I would faint. Because the painting consisted of a picture of the same boy I had talked to earlier that day. And on the bottom right corner, it was signed as The Red Man. Since then, I have tried to throw out the painting multiple times, but it keeps on showing up in weird places in my house. So, all I'm requesting you guys is that, if you ever end up sitting a kid talking about the Red Man, just call an exorcist.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Hi, I'm Darina, co-founder of Quo. You might know us as OpenPhone. My dad is a business owner, and growing up, he always kept his ringtone super loud so he'd never miss a customer call. That stuck with me. When we started Quo, our mission was to help businesses not just stay in touch, but make every customer feel valued, no matter when they might call. Quo gives your team business phone numbers to call and text on your phone or computer. Your calls, messages, and contacts live in one workspace, so your team can stay fully aligned and reply faster. And with our AI agent answering 24/7, you'll really never miss a customer. Over 90,000 businesses use Quo. Get 20% off at quo.com/business. That's QUO.com/business. And we can port your existing numbers over for free. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
This is a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you think then?
Well, yeah, it's either a good story or it's just like mental issues.
Never know.
Because there is a lot of stories like that.
Yeah, how terrifying though, if your brain actually believes that.
Yeah, I know.
How absolutely terrifying.
It's crazy, man. Well, that's the end of this episode. Hope you enjoyed and we'll catch up with you again soon.
We will indeed. We will catch you again tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
You know what's faster than your paycheck? Literally everything. It's time to get your pay up to speed. With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.